Well, I got nothing to say because we're supposed to be going on a walk, and I don't know if I'm gonna. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna start like this. Shit. Who knew I was gonna start like this? I thought I was gonna be walking and then talking, but change of plans. New Year's is a day away, right? And with that, you have people starting their workout journey, starting a new book, starting their first television show, starting their first fashion line, trying to better themselves, trying to redeem themselves from the most evilest things they have, right? Excuse me. Me, on the other hand, is damn. Am I getting taller? Hey, yo. Me, on the other hand, is I expected myself to. I don't know. What did I truly expect before the end of 2025? And, you know, told myself, it's like, okay, we're gonna stop making excuses for ourselves, right? We're gonna stop all that. But even stopping the excuses and starting something new, the excuses still ran rampant. And I had a preconception of thinking that I was better than others based off the ideas, but not, you know, you know, actually activating them, acting on them. But now, since the year is coming to an end, and the New Year's gonna start, people that I once loved have moved on, and I'm here stuck with my thoughts in the music. Now, it's getting serious now, you know. Even though I still got a couple more years of being a teenager, but still, it's getting more serious. So with that, I guess the maturity that I have when it comes to talking to you, I have to spread that across almost every aspect of my life instead of just a certain area, because I used to keep the maturity level pretty high when it comes to here, and then when everything else, I play like a fool, a gesture to cover my, I guess, my shortcomings. But that's not a becoming of an individual, right? My ideas shall always fluctuate and be temporarily thought of for almost every moment, right? For each moment, I was like, damn, I want to be a prophet. I want to be a revolutionary. I want to be this great upcoming person. But then as I grew, I was like, maybe I'm only doing this for attention. Maybe the attention that wasn't given to me as a young one, that's why I crave outside attention, you know? So as I, dug deeper and delve into my so-called psyche, I tend to see that maybe me being experimental with my thoughts and minds and anything I hold, yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, it's great to really understand yourself and be secure with yourself. And security is a great thing, obviously. But I think it's mainly the embarrassment of failing that holds people back. That what holds me back, right? What holds me from trying new things, right? The judgments of others. And I can tell you back and forth how it should change and how you should, truly be one with yourself. But how can I tell you that and then not do it to myself? Pretty contradictory, isn't it? Yeah. But like now, even though, you know, um, I, see things differently now. I also see that the mistakes that were made on my behalf have, affected me so heavily to the point where I'm scared to create progress. And what type of progress you may see, I think progress like mentally, I think it's a sensitive topic. I think that's why I didn't want to create anything. I didn't want to create videos. I didn't want to create music. I didn't want to create art because I knew my, you know, not my upcoming, but my failure and my miscellaneous ideas will be used against me, and it has been used against me with a plethora of occasions where it hurts when you hear it. You can do this for that, but you can't do this for me, and then it kind of hurts when you trusted somebody and then they do that to you, or they use the things that you're trying to create as an excuse for their mishaps, their mistakes, and yours. So then you figure out like, damn, maybe I shouldn't tell them what I was trying to do, you know. And, until it's created, you shouldn't say anything. Maybe. Is this nigga not cold? I know it's not the judgment of others, it's the judges that keep others from growing, obviously, right? And yes, it is cold as shit. I'm not gonna lie. It's cold as God knows what. But the sun is pretty bright today. I don't know why, because it usually be pitch black around 5. But I don't want to be stuck here for long. I was been supposed to be gone. It's damn near New Year's and I'm still in the same spot. I have no home. I have no home but except the phone. I've been left alone, just cradled by the mistakes that I had. Now I'm wondering, what should I truly internalize? What is the point? Not a point of life, because the point of life is to evolve, is it not? The point of life is to experience, to live, to create. But I wonder, what is the point of saying but not doing? The moon is your friend, buddy, right? So as I wonder, and it gets darker, right? And the things that, forever torment my so-called soul, you, it's not becoming to have a realization of what you truly are. Because in one moment, you see everything as it's supposed to be, and in another, you see nothing. But then the next, you falter pain. And you see everything as a vision of once it was, right? As just nonsense, not knowing the meaning of the word and just saying, but not doing. You know, you don't want to bring yourself down to a point where you can't think for yourself and your identity is gone. If you can't live for yourself, live for others. That's what it always is. If you can't live for yourself, live for others. Live for your friends, your family, Or if you have a child, live for your daughter, live for your son. It's a otherworldly type of sight to be so-called selfless, but you're selfless. But then when you're selfish, it tends to be in a selfless matter. Low key, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And even if I do, by the time I come back, it's gonna be completely dark. So, oh Lord, I smell like cigarettes and regrets in this bed. He's looking for his dog. You know, when I make these videos, sometimes I gotta stay vigilant because I wouldn't even say people, just individuals that be in this area tend to lose their mind in some aspect or next, right? Where empathy and sympathy tends to corrode. You know, it's a moment in time where you don't truly feel like yourself. And you don't feel like anybody else. You just feel like a blip, you know? You tend to disassociate, where you're in third person. And for me, it was never third person. It was never the backseat. Remember, it was never that. It was just, it's me gone and then me here next. And what's scary is, I think, preteen to all the way to 17, I was in and out of the so-called psychosis, you know? And people say sometimes psychosis is good or otherworldly bad, but I didn't know what word to put on it, what I was experiencing. Yeah. It's getting pretty dark, so I'm gonna try my best to stay clear of the road. Because we're only walking, we're only doing one roundabout, and then we're heading back. Because not only is it cold, but I have to experiment on some sounds. Right? I like flat shoes. I might get back into flat shoes. Because I don't know. I feel like more stable with like flat and not open toes, but like closed but wide box shoes. Because I have like, I don't know, makes me feel more comfortable. Hey, so walking and talking. It is so cold, but it's okay, because I'm not going to give you the bullshit that pain is only in the mind, which it is, but you need those receptors to tell you if you're in danger. It's your body telling you that you have to go somewhere where you're not in danger, you know? We go both ways anyway, so we're just gonna take this one because it's a familiar route, but we barely take it. So okay, so I'm not gonna hit you with any mumbo jumbo words. Out of I digress, and the value of your statement tends to be congruent to what you think. None of that, right? Oof. But what I am gonna tell you is being alive and living are two different things. But even though those are two different things, they intersect in one meaning. I mean, they're interchangeable, because when you say you're living, it means you're alive. But are you living your true self? Are you living in the meaning of living? But when you say alive, it's only the tone or the meaning of how you say it. The context of what those two words are the same thing as the correlation, because you can be like, how you been? I'm alive. Yeah, but then when somebody asks you again, you can be like, I feel alive. I feel that I am okay, you know? And I had this epiphany, right? So does every human. The epiphany of living and being alive may interject and may intersect as the same thing, but it, it comes where you're trying to figure out which one are you doing. Are you alive? Right? Are you living as a verb? Could be doing both, but I'm trying to differentiate the two. And I'm trying to figure out, am I alive? Not in a subconsciously or conscious question as if I am real, to the point where it the the nuance of, if you question yourself long enough, you become insane. More of, if am I doing the correct things in the manner of where I feel success, I feel alive. Am I living in a grander moment where I feel alive, or am I alive because I'm living? Every subconscious thought can be a moment where your conscious and subconscious interjects into creativity. Right? The more creative you are, the more insane you are. But if you are aware of your insanity and you're aware of your creativity, it tends to mellow out. Your creativity can still be on the same stature of what it was before you knew what you were, but it could also be detrimental to how you see the world. Your perspective lens was so-called broken in the eyes of others, but it was more magnified and altered to the point where you could see multiple planes. Not in a spiritual or majestic type of way, but more of the correlations of how things are created. I charged my phone, so we're not going to be rushing for time like, oh, my phone's about to die. It's more of the mental and the physical capabilities of how long can I stay in the cold before I give up, which is not for long. You know, it's better to put ideas out there and let it be judged, or rather not put any ideas out there and be not judged, right? Because judgment is all ruling. Judgment is for all. No matter how you split it, you will be judged in what you wear, how you talk, how you perceive, what car you drive, what house you have, how much money you make. We do things for comfortability, but we also do things for others. When you buy that nice car, you buy it for yourself, but you also want eyes on it, don't you? Right? You wear that nice clothes to look good and feel good, but you also want people to compliment you on it, right? Right? It can go for no matter who you are or what you are. I'm doing it for myself. No, you're doing it for others subconsciously. But then you got that one person who's like, well, you don't know how I think. It's and I could just be like, well, it's all knowing human nature, but it wouldn't be listed as that, right? God damn it. It's getting bad again. Darkness tends to amplify the things that cannot be seen. And darkness amplifies the things that I see on a daily, so I kind of want to go home before I see something that's not there, then I fall on the road to get hit by something that's actually real. Bro, it is so cold. Ugh. Lady was so scared of me, she locked the door on her individual that was coming in the car with her. A question. Doesn't everything start with a question? All right. The nuance of a paradox of questioning a question or remembering. To remember about remembering. or forgetting that you forgot something. I honestly just don't know, man. All you can do is smile and think about the next topic. That's why I say you keep the things the most simplistic as possible so you don't lose your mind. So you can stay grounded in the reality that we so-called made for ourselves. Isn't that right? There's a statement that I always say every time, no matter what the occasion is. Excuse me. But this doesn't even relate to what I'm talking about. But I say equality is a facade, and I'm trying to make that true. And maybe that is for my naiveness to thinking that I could fix the world in a monumental way that it could not cause world peace, but allude to it. But I also, my own greediness and my own passion of becoming rich, no matter how unethical it is because I want to protect my own, right? I want to live comfortably just like everybody else, right? But then there's an ethical question of, do you deserve everything that you have so-called gained, no matter if it's morally right or wrong? And do others deserve it too, just because how hard you worked? But in that moment, does it truly exist if you're truly deserving? Are you truly deserving of what you earned because of the time you put in, or you were deserving because of the effort that you give, of that one moment that you have spared, the youth and your experience that you have sacrificed to live that moment? Is it worth it? Is it worth it because you put the work in? Or is it worth it because you deserve? How would you feel if you created something, put your time and effort and experience in, and somebody says you have too much of it and I should get a piece? Not because I have created, or I have put time in it, or I deserve it, but mainly because you have too much of what it is. But then there's a counterproductive way of thinking. Should we all get an equal amount of what you created and distribute it? Or should we have somebody who has it all and distributes it equally between all, so we all get the fair amount? Or does it matter if you created it with your own tools and created the tools that made it, or you were put in that position to be able to create there? Now, what if you weren't put in that position to create that thing or what it was, and you were less fortunate than somebody else that has created the same thing as you, but you have earned and put the time and effort in to create the same thing as them, and now you are top of them. You are the equal of them, but the people that are lower than you once before see differently. Now, perspective is changing throughout years. That is always. So no matter how you say it or what words you put on it, we have to figure out what is deserving at that moment. What is truly deserving at that time. You can't say no one truly knows, because some answers have been answered but not proven for others. Now there's an aspect of, imagine you are the most strongest individual in the land, in the world, right? But nobody believes you because you have never tested your strength. You have never shown others. So does that still count as you're the strongest? Because you have nothing to prove because you know that you're the strongest, or do you allude to the fact that you are the strongest? Just in the fact that there's a box, there's a chance that the box has something alive in the box or something dead in the box. You will never know because you have not checked into the box. But does that not mean evidently something's alive in the box or dead? Hypothetically speaking. But this is only a surface level of some theories. Only you know what you hold. Maybe one of the most intelligent men have never been fully shown because he didn't feel like, or not feel, but he knew there would be no point of showing his intellect to others, knowing there's other people who have higher consciousness and higher intelligence of other individuals that's already shown. So there's no matter of adding him to the bunch because there's so many out there. Maybe he's seen it, or that person, individual, seen as a more of a pissing contest of whose meat is bigger than actually showing who's actually enlightened. Or maybe that person would be seen as arrogant and pompous if he truly has shown himself. Maybe, I'm tired of saying maybe, because if you put if or maybe, it tends to diminish the whole statement. But maybe the creator of us is too scared of what he has created. So maybe that's why he has never fully have tried to connect. Or maybe I'm just babbling my ass off. But I won't diminish the things that I think. That's what a lot of people do. It is unbelievably cold. know this saying, new year, new me. Hold yourself to it, because you don't know what you could lose in an instant. Stay humble so you don't get humbled. I think that was what I was supposed to say. The stars had never been so bright before. Why is that lady outside in a nightgown as cold as hell? If that was my grandma, would have told her to go in the house. But it is cold as knows what, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Why are you shooting fireworks? We're speed walking because it's cold as shit. Oh Lord. We're cutting it close. Speed walking this bitch. What time we at? Oh shit, we got 40. Goddamn. Alright, we're basically here. So I guess it's time to cut it a bit. But it was lovely talking to you once again. And you have a great day.